Our customer, a global leader across the hospitality industry, they've had a robust technology organization for as long as they've been around. I think true transformation, basing everything around thinking through the lens of the customer was the client's overall goal. So being able to operate where they aren't assuming what the customer wants, but actually using customer data in order to truly understand, get a full 360 view of who their customer is, and then being able to deliver a personalized experience to each customer was the overall end goal. Part of the reason why they had a lot of positions that just didn't truly exist in the organization previously was their core business system that everything operates off of is their property management systems. And their property management system was a very antiquated system that has been added to over the years by several different folks, and they were growing a lot of risk in only having a handful of folks who were the original developers who created the system, basically having them be the overall source of knowledge on why things were developed a certain way. So as the company matured, they made the tough decision to basically architect an entirely new core service and to build out microservices and basically to build everything out in the cloud. And a lot of those skill sets needed in order to do so just previously didn't exist. So we supported the organization with placing several software engineers, UI, UX designers, web UI developers, render tier developers, GraphQL developers, a lot of AWS cloud architects and cloud engineers, solutions architects, project managers, product owners, basically folks who would touch every piece of the product. Those skill sets or some of the technologies that they have invested in were fairly new at the time. So their challenge was they had a lot of folks within the organization who had the core business knowledge and who understood the existing system, but they needed to look externally in order to find IT professionals who had the core technical skill sets related to the new technology they were bringing into the organization. It was a multi-year effort of building out a robust data and analytics organization and centralizing everything previously across the business. Each area of the business had a handful of analysts and reports developers, as well as some had some data engineers who were solely focused on pulling data, creating reports, and delivering insights to one specific area of the business. There's several challenges there. So one, from a cost perspective, they did an analysis and realized that they had several folks creating several reports that didn't take into account any other areas of the business. And most important, that each group was so siloed that they weren't able to really generate business across all different business units. So a key objective was, in order to, be able to deliver what the customer wants, they needed to be able to understand their current data in order to truly get an understanding of who their customer is. And when you have several different brands across a global scale, being able to look at that data across all avenues was critical to being able to get to the end result of being able to deliver customized experiences to each and every customer, regardless of where they live and regardless of what brands they're booking within. So the key initiative was creating one interconnected ecosystem of data, tools, technology, processes, and most importantly, aligning those people that touch every area of that in order to be able to centralize all their data, all their reporting and analytics, to deliver true business insights to empower the key decision makers around the organization. So that was where we supported the build out of the centralized data and analytics organization. Overall, we've been supporting this customer for several years, since 2015. And throughout their digital transformation effort, we placed over 477 consultants throughout the organization, throughout several core groups, throughout their software engineering organization, throughout their enterprise program management organization, folks who supported their agile transformation efforts, their digital HR efforts, their data and engineering efforts. their enterprise technology groups, as well as their digital marketing and creative teams. And we place talent across all throughout the US, but the key focus areas from a geographic standpoint were out of their technology hubs. In terms of when I think of like what digital transformation is, I feel like it's integrating the technology, whether it's existing technology or taking 10 different systems and bringing them into one. So just integrating different pieces of technology, centralizing things, but also just questioning, are we doing something because it's just the way we've always done it? Um, or because it's the easier route. But I feel like it's typically like integrating everything together. One of the key ways they were able to be successful in that model was in empowering their teams so that their folks were comfortable being able to pause and to pivot. I think one thing they did really well was building out their scrum teams, and your traditional IT teams were just aligned around skill sets or systems, but rethinking how you structure your teams and putting all the right people in the right rooms together to make decisions, I think was key. So the way that they built out their scrum teams were aligned around specific products, and they had folks across all different skill sets. So you had your project manager, your product owner, your UI folks, your UX designers, your developers, your software engineers, your architects, as well as your platform engineers, all a part of one Scrum team, but all aligned around the same product. And I think that that was a key component to their success, because rather than having everyone siloed, you have everyone meeting several times on a daily basis to track progress and to also manage backlog, talk through any impediments, and be able to make decisions quickly before they got too far down the road in developing something that nobody's going to use. So I think those Scrum teams were critical in their success in moving quickly and also being able to pivot quickly.